Master Chief is probably the best fictional example of the ideal soldier, and he's no stranger when it comes to facing a hostile alien life form. But how would he fare against the iconic Yautja from the Predator franchise, or more specifically, Wolf from Aliens vs Predator Requiem? Standing at 7 feet and 2 inches tall and weighing around 1,000 pounds, John 117 is a jack of all trades when it comes to his role as one of, if not the best Spartan. His standard equipment varies from mission to mission, but we mainly see him with the standard issue assault rifle of the UNSC alongside the iconic Magnum handgun of the Halo universe. He also carries with him an M11 combat knife, a blade that has specifically been fashioned for the use by Spartans and thus made to be almost unbreakable, capable of piercing both the energy shields and armor plates of an enemy. Then of course we have his state-of-the-art Mjolnir armor, now in its 3rd generation. Even the first iteration of this combat skin was said to be capable of boosting the stats of the wearer by 10 times, with the Mark 6 boosting that by a further 5 times. John's new armor also likely provides another multiplier, as it was fitted with a new exoskeleton and implied to have taken on board the same level of quantified improvements of past generations, thus adding another 5 times multiplier. So taking the time John carried out the feat of kicking an exoskeleton wearing a marine 8 meters, which comes to 230,400 joules or war level, and then applying these aforementioned multipliers, we can soundly reach 0.013 tons of TNT or small building level. As for speed, Spartans are more than capable of evading gunfire, whether it's human created or from alien origin. Chief's best feat in this department would be the time he reacted to a minigun at point blank range, with 30 caliber miniguns having a muzzle velocity of 853 meters per second, putting Chief at supersonic plus. When it comes to his skills and ability as a combatant, he's one of the best, and thanks to the various forms of surgery that the Spartans underwent during their youth, John has enhanced muscle memory. This trait allows him to learn and master forms of combat much easier than a regular person, with him ultimately being extremely well versed in all forms of combat. Spartans are also so gifted when it comes to fighting IQ that they instinctively master any weapon they pick up. All these skills have allowed John to easily take on hordes of enemies, whether it be members of the Covenant, Flood combat forms, or even the best warriors that the Forerunners had to offer. Wolf is easily the most seasoned Yautja we've seen in action in the Predator franchise. In fact, he's so much of a veteran, he really only comes out to hunt when a xenomorph infestation needs cleaning up. Standing at 7 feet 8 inches and weighing around 400 pounds, Wolf is an absolute unit. Like most Yautja, he's packing a lot of extremely potent gear, such as the plasma caster, his cloaking device, wrist blades, and healing capsules. However, as an elite of his species, he's acquired more advanced and powerful weaponry, such as his bullwhip, which can easily slice apart warrior-class xenomorphs, his shuriken, and as the cleaner, Wolf is also equipped with several vials of special dissolving liquid that can render anything from human flesh and bone to a xenomorph into goo. Of course, there's no forgetting how almost all Yautja are equipped with a last resort weapon in the form of a self-destruct setting for their gauntlet, which, when activated, explodes with enough energy to match a small nuclear bomb, which would be around 100 kilotons of TNT, or small town level. However, he's no slouch when it comes to unarmed combat either. He's more than capable of taking on 2 xenomorph warriors with his bare hands, and could give the Predalien a decent fight, eventually locking the two in a stalemate. Even young-blood predators, such as the trio from the previous AVP movie, could fight Xenomorph, which could bust through a sufficient amount of rock with enough force to generate 0.1 tons of TNT or small building levels of energy. So Wolf would simply upscale from the aforementioned feat. Despite weighing so much, Wolf also isn't a slouch when it comes to speed, as he'd be boasting around subsonic speed due to most Yautja being faster than the eye can follow. As a veteran of his species, being an elite class Yautja, Wolf would be a master of multiple different styles of combat, and of course he's extremely competent in the use of various weapons, mostly in the form of what I mentioned earlier. While the stats are clearly in favour of Master Chief, the major problem for Wolf is how John has so much experience when fighting against the Sangheili in his own verse. The elites are almost exactly the same in terms of culture as the Yautja, as their entire lifestyles are built around martial combat and a samurai-esque code of honour. The elites would be just as skilled, being as they are masters of any weapon and raised from an extremely young age in the art of hand-to-hand combat. They are even considered to be the Covenant's equivalent to the Spartan super soldier. We also know that Master Chief would be capable of seeing Wolf, even if he was cloaked, as John was capable of seeing the Arbiter while the latter was invisible during the beginning of Halo 3. However, we do know that Chief is sometimes willing to fight on the terms of the enemy, as seen in the package episode of Halo Legend, where John engages in an energy sword duel with a Sangheili warrior. Being as Wolf is one to engage in raw hand-to-hand combat when faced with a worthy foe, it would stand to reason that he may try to engage Chief in such a fight. However, as previously mentioned, John is not a stranger to hand-to-hand combat, with his personal style focusing focusing on striking, with him also being well versed in grappling too, as he spent countless hours on the mats with fellow Spartans, even successfully utilising those skills against an opponent who was much stronger than himself. Wolf, on the other hand, while skilled, was unable to free himself from being pinned by the Predalien, so he'd have no chance of freeing himself from the stronger and more skilled opponent in the form of Spartan 117. Ultimately, this will just end in Wolf attempting to end the battle in a draw by blowing both of the characters to Kingdom Come. However, unfortunately for the Yautja Elite, Master Chief has an answer to shutting down the wrist device in the form of the weapon. She's essentially the sister AI to Cortana, as they were both made by Halsey, but unlike most AI in the verse, they can actually interact with technology without the inherent need for a physical piece of hardware to transfer them between tech. So, while the device is counting down to destruction, Chief's AI companion could most definitely shut it down before it goes off. So, this battle really isn't close. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.